Getting ready for your next travel adventure? Let's capture the best parts of it. Time to hit the road. Hello everyone, it's your favorite nephew with a camera, Gabe here, and I'm moving. So over the next couple days, we're traveling all the way up from Michigan down to New Mexico. We have a couple sites that we're gonna see along the way, and also some cool tips and tricks to share with you as well. Whether you're traveling on your own vacation or coming along for the ride, here are 5 iPhone photography tips for travel. Let's go. So welcome to Chicago. We've made it here to see some friends, and we've actually identified this really cool walkway here where it has this nice straightaway of this street. And this is perfect for demonstrating our next tip, which is telephoto 3x zoom. So this telephoto is really great for these long type of alleyways like this because it kind of compresses the image together instead of using your 0.5. So we'll take a 0.5 image first to show you what this image would look like with the 0.5. I'm just going to press it just against the window here. And then compared to the ×3 view, just like this, wait for this bus to pass. And then just take a picture. Oh, you have some people walking also in the walkway. Get that red car and just take a picture there. When you see an image like that with a 0.5 compared to the 3x zoom, it has it nice and compressed for the 3x to make it nice and cinematic and visual for your travel photography. We're leaving to go to Kansas City, yay! And we're here, we're in Union Station in Kansas City, Missouri. And this is actually a perfect stop for our next tip, which is Foreground. So when you're here in a place like Union Station, it's so pretty. You have really nice high ceilings with lots of texture and lots of different things you want to see in this area. And a good way to do that is to do some product photography. But instead of pointing down like we usually do, I got a cappuccino here from the coffee shop behind me. People usually go like this and they tap their cameras and just take a picture top down of their food. But usually you can actually get a good feel of the background and where you are using Foreground. So I'm going to demonstrate that right now. So what we're gonna do is just use this cappuccino here and just place it to the side and just see what's around us and demonstrate, oh, this is good scenery that we can show behind our subject, which is our background, and we'll use our cappuccino here as our foreground. So I'm gonna do a picture here. I'm gonna turn my camera around so that the lens is on the bottom here so that we can get nice and low. As I'm rotating the coffee cup, you'll see that their logo is nice here. And you can see so much of the background here in Union Station. We're gonna wait for a couple people to cross before we take our picture. And notice already that this cup is in focus. If I tap the background, that will be in focus there, but I want the cup to be in focus, and that's our foreground element, and just take a picture there. Pretty. I think we're gonna do that on the opposite side as well, because we have a nice background there where the other train stop is on that side. We'll give a little bit of this coffee shop some love. We'll show their logo. Nice. And just show that. We'll just tap this right here. And don't be afraid to even move up nice and close. I'll tilt it just a little bit like that. And take my picture. Very good. I think those are going to look really nice. So this is a good demonstration of foreground separated by background, also making your product photography photos look a little bit more interesting. Until the next tip, I'll see you there. And we're here at the Children's Fountain in Kansas City, Missouri. Fun fact, did you know that Kansas City, Missouri is known as the City of Fountains? It adopted this term in 1992 and even incorporated fountains into its city logo. This is because Kansas City is full of so many fountains, so we had to take advantage of it and shoot at an actual fountain. And the best way to demonstrate shooting around a fountain is long exposure. And now, I know we did long exposure in our last video that we did in Korea, but I understand after watching that video, some of you might not have any stabilization when it comes to getting a tripod, especially when you're traveling and you already have so much to carry with you. But a good way to do long exposure shots when on the go without a tripod is to stabilize it yourself with your phone. A good way you can do that is if you can hold your phone against something like a bench or anything of solid surface that you could line up your phone with to make sure that your phone is nice and steady. And if you can see in my phone right here, it's nice and stable already, just a little bit, it's not perfect. But because of that, we're just gonna enable the timer on our camera. Just pop the caret symbol up the top there. And I've already enabled it on my phone, but if you need to find it, it's this watch icon here. And then I already set it to 3 seconds. We're going to do a 3 times zoom, so I'm just gonna put it to 3. Don't forget to always put your live photo on, and that's very important for long exposure shots on your iPhone. Just enable your long exposure shots with live photo, which is the top right-hand corner of the live photo symbol. Just enable it on. And now that it's stable like this, we're gonna snap a photo in 3, 2, 1. Very good. Let's see if it looks stable. Very nice. Let me see if we can also enable long exposure. Very good. So now you see like this photo, it has all the water that's now been like misty and like it looks very like blurred out, all because of that long exposure setting that we put. We're also going to demonstrate another tip that we're going to use with long exposure, but also implementing our last tip that we did with foreground. Let's go try that out. So for this, we've actually asked my friend Grace, who is traveling with me on this trip, to be a big contributor to the shot, and she's gonna be our subject here. So I'm just gonna show you with my phone here. And as you can see, we have a great window of opportunity here, literally and figuratively. We're going to just tap on the fountains in the background there. We're just going to make sure that we have Grace centered on the bottom third of the photo there. And we're just gonna take a quick picture just like this. Perfect. We're gonna go ahead and just click this photo here and then show it in long exposure mode. You're gonna see now the water from the fountains is nice and misty and sprayed, yet you still have Grace in the foreground, just showing like the concentration of the subject as well as the trees, another layer of foreground to make this picture really dynamic. And I think this is what is really cool about including long exposure shots into your repertoire for iPhone photography. Hello everyone, before our next tip, while we're sitting here in traffic, just want to remind you, if you missed our last tips video, you could catch in the right-hand corner up here. We covered our lighting techniques in Korea while I was there. And feel free to click on that video if you need to catch up on that one and come back to this one while we're in traffic. Maybe we've moved, maybe we haven't, but until then, we'll see you in the next tip. Where are we? Liberal, Kansas. And we've made it to Santa Fe, the capital of New Mexico. We've been taking some time around and just exploring the sites while we're in the States, and even my extended family has come so we can show them the sites. While we're around, we've been showing them some iPhone photography tips, and it's actually excellent that we're here because this is perfect for our next tip, which is 0.5 selfie. Let's try it with everyone. So I've gathered all my family members here in order for us to take our 0.5 selfie. But in order to understand the 0.5 selfie, let's first take a normal selfie. So we are here with our camera, we're putting it to the side, and just like our last video, we did our selfie by pressing the volume button to release the shutter. So we're gonna do that here, and as you can see in our ×1 selfie or normal selfie, you can see everyone in the frame mostly, but you see that I'm a little bit cut off on the left, and my aunt is a little bit cut off on the right. It's a little bit tight, and if you're really good, you can take your photo like this by pressing the volume button. Good, all right? But the 0.5 selfie is actually a bigger type of frame that goes wider than the ×1 zoom. So in order to do that, we actually have to use the front camera and not the back camera here. So we're gonna just switch the camera here, go to 0.5. But in order for us to use the 0.5, we actually have to flip the camera around like this. The challenge with the 0.5 selfie is that you can't really see everyone in the frame now, but you just have to trust that this 0.5 selfie is capturing everything, and it will because it's so big, as you can see. So just like we took with the ×1 zoom, With the 0.5 zoom, just move your finger to the bottom here to press the shutter button, and you can include everyone in the frame now. So we're gonna go ahead and take that photo. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, and smile. Excellent. We're gonna go check our photo. Excellent. So you can see in our photo here, we've got everyone included. You got the sky, you've got the water tower, and you have enough space for my aunt and I to be in the frame. So this is a good tip to know if you're with family members or a big group of people to use a 0.5 selfie to capture the scenery as well as everyone in the frame. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Oops. Oops, you can come too. Sorry. Here we go. Whew, awesome. Wow. We finally made it. We're here at our last stop at Resurrection Rock in Rehoboth, New Mexico. New Mexico is our last stop here on our long journey back home. And this is actually the perfect place to demonstrate burst photos. Burst photos is a great way to capture a little bit of motion, but not knowing when exactly it's gonna happen. So we're gonna showcase that with our friend Grace and myself. And we have this perfect backdrop of New Mexico. We have the Pyramid Rock in the back, as well as the whole Resurrection Rock in the background. So let's all try it. So we're gonna set up our first burst photo shot. And this is a great way to capture movement in such a short amount of time, especially if you can't predict when motion is gonna happen. So these are great for like graduation caps flying in the air, or even better when we're traveling, for jumping pictures. So we're gonna ask our subject, Grace, to just jump into the frame there. Excellent. So all you can do for burst photos, for landscape mode, you can just press this and then hold it down and it'll capture some photos like this. And you can see that we captured 8 there. And the way that you can see it is you can click this and see that we took 8 photos. If you press select at the top, we can go through and see the 8 photos that we've captured together. So what you can also do in portrait mode, if you're shooting that way, when the camera's to the side, you just hold the button and slide it to the left instead. But for this one, we're gonna try a jumping photo with Grace. So here we go. Grace, I'm gonna count you down in 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. So we can look back at this photo selection. It took 7 photos. We're gonna select and look at that. Grace is airborne in this one. Pretty good. So what if you want to shoot burst photos, but with a group of people? So myself included, if I wanted to add myself to the shot, we can easily do that. So you can actually do burst photos without you having to be under or behind the camera activating the burst photo. So what we're gonna do for this one is gonna tap the caret here, and we're gonna enable a timer for our cameras. So we're gonna press the timer and enable 10 seconds there. Make sure that live photo right here is actually switched to off. That's the only way you can enable burst photos when it's on a timer. So we're going to just try that real quick. It's gonna count down from 10 and go all the way down to 1. And let's see if we can time it perfectly, okay? Grace, when we're gonna see the beeping of the back of the camera with the light, I'll tell you go, okay? And then we'll jump. So let's try it out. For this one, you don't have to press it and then hold it down. You can just press it so the timer can activate. Here we go, 9, 8, 7, woo! So just pay attention to the light at the back of the camera going there. And ready, and go! Nice, I think that was a good one. So now that we've done a burst, it'll do a burst of 10. You can just click our photos here. And nice, you see that this is a burst of 10 photos. So we'll press select and then choose our favorites. Oh, nice. We got some airborne ones. Ooh, this one's a really good one. Captured us just jumping in the air. Holy cow, this is really cool. So we got all this nice jumping photo just from using a burst selfie timer. Make sure that when you're doing burst selfie timers that you're always on a tripod so it's nice and stable, or else someone's gonna be like holding it for you if you don't have anyone else to hold it for you. Just use a nice stable place or a point of contact based on our last tip. And that wraps up our week-long travel from Michigan all the way down to New Mexico. Did you enjoy our road trip? Thank you so much for joining us safely on this journey. Now go forth on your journey and take some great photos. And these are only 5 tips amongst so many more. Other tips and tricks like this you'd like to see in the future? If so, please consider liking and subscribing and commenting down below for other recommendations for me in the future that I can cover. But for now, I'm super excited to actually go ahead and edit all these photos. So thank you so much for stopping by to visit your favorite nephew with a camera. Until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.